It's 9 o'clock. If you please stand and join us for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of Monday, May 5th, 2025 as written?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved by Abendroth and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign 2 tax abatements in the amount of $566.80. Looked like one was for ATV, but the tax had never been paid, so there wasn't any refund. So I guess it's just to abate it for the future. Is that?
I didn't understand that. It wasn't paid late.
Maybe it's just to settle the account, so, because it was basically, maybe it was overdue and showing that they didn't owe it, but regardless, we're not giving them any money back. And then the other one was for another vehicle. It's like been titled improperly or been taxed improperly. It was an antique vehicle and it was taxed as a regular vehicle. So.
But up at the top of this is total amount $566.80, and that would be those two together.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that. Been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the Coffee County payroll notice for Emmett Hazen, new hire, short-term/summer temp, noxious weed laborer, wage classification 5-1, wage $15.54, effective 5/19/2025. I so move.
I'll second.
Been moved by Thompson and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So do we do anything about this move to proclaim the month of 2025?
They're here.
Okay. So, ECAN representative Heather Carver, Community Action Month. Good morning.
Morning. So I'm Heather Carver. I'm the Human Services Coordinator at ECAN. I'll give you all a pamphlet. And Kathy Sage is with me this morning. She's our Head Start Family Educator. They changed her title a while back, and I can't remember.
Everybody used to call me a home visitor.
Yeah, so she
Okay.
does. So some of you, we've been here every year for years. So some of you know me, some of you don't. We do a lot of different things at ECAN. We provide emergency assistance for those who can't pay a bill because of lack of income. And typically those are emergent situations like a loss of a job or this month some sort of medical emergency that took away some income that they might typically have. We do have a food pantry, a baby books program. We do the Christmas Bureau, and school supplies. And then Kathy does Head Start education in the home, preparing kids for preschool and families.
And I work from prenatal all the way up to 5-year-olds.
So
To help them get ready for that baby to come into the world.
So they do lots of different things. They do recycled things a lot of
We
times.
make homemade toys, educational toys. This way we encourage the children to play so they learn, because the curriculum that we use encourages play to learn, because children learn faster. Science has learned that children learn better if they are playing instead of just sit down and just pay attention. And these homemade toys are better. You just use everyday, a Pringles can. covered in some real pretty colorful duct tape, and it turns into color recognition, and you pull some stuff out, and all of a sudden now it becomes fine motor and gross motor. And if they destroy it, oh well, we'll make another one, because they're always going to eat some more Pringles potato chips.
Yeah.
We also have weatherization program, Section 8. Currently our Section 8 wait list is closed. There just are so many people on that wait list that they couldn't keep up, they can't keep up. Right now the wait list is closed, but they're trying to get through those people that are currently on the wait list, and those, excuse me, those who currently receive Section 8 are still receiving Section 8 right now. So that's community action. Last year was our 60th year for community action. ECAN's 60th year will be next year. So yeah, we serve, and like in our office we serve people only from Coffee County, but we do serve multiple counties. So, do you guys have any questions for us today?
Don't make it too hard. It is Monday morning.
Yeah, it is.
It is Monday morning.
I know, you guys do this every Monday morning.
So is your office here in Burlington?
Yeah, we're at 409 Neosho Street.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So,
And I serve all of Coffee County. I'm the only home visitor or family educator for the whole Coffee County,
You're busy.
from corner to corner.
So do you go out of county or just Coffee County?
Just Coffee
Just
County,
Coffee.
unless we're shorthanded in another county,
Then you move?
then they'll double batch me, where I'll still work my county and then go to another county too.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah,
yeah, it's just the two of us here, so
you're looking at the only team.
it's us.
You are the team.
Yeah, we are the team here, so.
Yep. But yeah, we work together with that Baby Buck program because the families who take their children to the doctor, go to WIC, encouraged to go to story time at the library, they earn those Baby Bucks. If they have our home visits with me, and they earn Baby Bucks, and I like to throw those Baby Bucks out a lot.
Yeah.
If they don't break our visits, they get those Baby Bucks, and then they get to go to her and do some shopping.
And we have diapers and wipes and baby clothes,
And they're all brand new.
yeah, I don't take anything used. I want people to take that stuff to God's House or COS.
Sure.
You know, we don't want to compete with them. So most of our stuff comes from our distribution center out of Ottawa. We have places that donate to our warehouse there, and then he comes and brings it to us. Usually monthly, not always monthly, depending on the weather, depending on what else is happening. We don't always get a monthly delivery. So, do you guys have any other questions for us?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
So I guess I'll read your
Okay.
proclamation. It's the 2025 Community Action Month proclamation. Whereas Community Action has made essential contributions across this nation for 61 years, inspiring a spirit of hope, creating opportunities for millions of people to be a part of the American dream, and improving American communities. And whereas Community Action remains committed to a nation that creates opportunities for all people to thrive, build strong, resilient communities, and ensures a more equitable society. And whereas Community Action is a robust state and local force connecting people to life-changing services and creating pathways to prosperity in 99% of all American counties. And whereas Community Action builds and promotes economic stability as an essential aspect of enabling and enhancing stronger communities and stable homes. And whereas Community Action strategies and innovative solutions evolve as the needs of individuals, families, and communities in cities, suburbs, and rural areas change. And whereas Community Action is experienced in advancing opportunities by coordinating federal, state, local, and private resources to achieve results for people and communities. And whereas Community Action insists on community participation and involvement, ensuring that all sectors of the community have a voice and will be heard. And whereas Community Action is recognizing 61 years of innovation, impact, and improving proven results for Americans. Now therefore, Coffee County Board of County Commissioners of Coffee County, Kansas, do hereby proclaim 2025 as Community Action Month in recognition of the hard work and dedication of Coffee County Community Action Agency. So I guess we need to do we have a motion to proclaim the month of May 2025 Community Action Month? So Barker's moved,
I'll second.
McCurry seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you all for all you do.
Thank you guys for all you do. We appreciate you.
That signature page here on the back here.
Sweet. You want to stay for that? Will you send it to me?
Will this be a second?
Okay.
Either way.
All right. Thank you all.
Okay. All right. Flint Hills Technical College President Karen Doherty, strategic plan for the next 5 years. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank
Ma'am.
you all for allowing me to step in and adding me to your agenda. I really do appreciate that.
Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Darty by Corn, you did.
Yeah, Karen?
Karen, oh yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I thought so. but,
Yes, thank you. So I have some packets for you, and I don't know if you need some extras maybe for legal counsel or anything, just to make sure everybody gets the same thing. So, and then I'll walk you through each of these. I'll only take a few minutes of your time, but I will welcome any questions. A few of you I have already met, and we've had some conversations. I'll go ahead and leave one for counsel. Is
Okay,
that all right?
great.
Okay. And then I am to meet, I believe, with Jenny Capman when we finish.
Great.
I'm going to meet with her. So again, thank you all, and I do appreciate your time. We've had several conversations over the past few years. I'm in my 4th year, just finishing my 4th year, starting year 5. We had a few conversations with Coffee County commissioners, and certainly Flint Hills Technical College, hoping to at some point, which are some of the conversations we've had in the past, certainly have a footprint in Coffee County in ways we can serve your families and your students. But one thing, and we also have several students from 244, so USB 244 as well. So what I want to do is just walk you through this. Have not met some of you I have worked with. So one thing I want to do is just kind of give you an update of what the college, where the college is at, what we're doing, and just give you some oversight about what's going on right now. And so we're going to start on the left side of the document. This is just for your entertainment value and note-taking. So, but what I want to start with is this job report. All right, so the college does this every year. It's on the left side. It's a little half sheet. The college does this every year. We probably have 25 or 30 years worth of data. That's an annual update. We get this from the students who most recently graduated, and we get about a 95% response rate. So this is very accurate. It is reflective of the overwhelming majority of our most recent graduates. So this data is from our graduates from a year ago. So the next one will come out this August, September. But what I want you to do is if you'll open it up, if you'll go along the left column, those are the programs we have. You see the automotive technology, etc. 2 programs that are not listed on there that will be starting to show some data are the early childhood education. It just completed its 2nd year, so it's just now getting some graduates, so it's not listed in here yet. And in the fall, we will start our precision agriculture program. When we go through some of these other materials, I believe there is a curriculum about that precision agriculture program, so you can kind of see what that's about. It starts in the fall. We hired our faculty in January. So this precision ag is more of that concept of the drone technology and the GPS positioning and all of that. So it's very technically oriented, but it also has some soils, it also has some agriculture components. But most of it is technical more so than mechanical.
So is that a 2-year program?
It is. It's a 1-year certificate and a 2-year program. Yep. So it will start this fall. So the early childhood education is not on here, and the precision ag is not on here. They will integrate in as those students then graduate and get jobs and then get placed. So what I want to draw your attention to on that variety of programs that we have, go all the way now to the far right column, and that's going to show you those average wages for that year for those students who graduated from that program. So for instance, you see the ranges for culinary arts, right? Anywhere from $25,000. Now look at our dental hygiene students at $69,000. And so that's certainly the range of all the students. I would say our dental hygiene and our power plant. Thank you all. So our power plant, we have a great relationship with Wolf Creek, and that continues to actually build and grow. So we're very, very proud with that. We're very happy to have that relationship, and you can certainly see that in the wages of that power plant technology and what those students bring to the table and the value that that is. So, and then at the next so I've just had you go to the far right column. I'm going to take you to the next one to the left. That one shows the percent of each of those programs that get placed. So if you go to the very bottom, you're going to see that average 98%. That's our average placement rate for all of our graduates for the past year. And so that's the rate that our students are getting placed and then the types of wages that they're earning. We have this available every year. We can send this out. If you have any interest in it, I can certainly come back at another point and share it with you. But one thing I did want to do is really just, I'm not asking for money. I've had a couple of, I'm doing the tour of all of our service area county commissions, really just to reintroduce folks in our region to the college and what we're doing and some of our initiatives. I'm not looking for any money. I just want you to know about what we do. So I just wanted to do that. So the next one, this is a little bit about our next mission. So next strategic plan. So we are in a strategic plan right now that will sunset with our board probably in June, and we'll have a report of that. This one will be kicked off in July, and it will be for the next 5 years. So these are, we've actually adjusted our mission and vision statement in some of this, so these are a little bit different. They will be moving forward once the board approves this. What I really want to draw your attention to as well, though, are our strategic planning metrics and our goals on the back side, what I would consider to be the back side. So this would be the focus on students, advancing student success, and so that's everything that we're doing will advance what we hope is that 98. We got room for improvement, right? Can we hit 99? Let's see. So that advancing student success and all of those variables, our programs, our employees, our facilities, and our partnerships. This is where this comes into play with Coffee County Commissioners. I feel like we have increased what we consider to be our short-term training initiatives. That department of the college is new. It's only 2 years old. What that provides then, let me give you an example, Emporia-based, if you will. Tyson shut down, right? So Tyson shut down with 1,000 employees. So some different things we did to try to help with that. There were Tyson employees who were employed by, I'm going to use TGT, okay? And so TGT was the logistics platform that managed the freight coming off the trains, getting in the trucks, and putting into the stores. So those were the truck drivers on Tyson premises only. They did not have CDL training to go off-site, but they could back up, they could navigate those trucks, those rigs, they could work with that. We were able to get those employees CDL licensed within 2 weeks. So they then went from, what am I going to do, to a $60,000 job within 2 weeks. And they had their CDL licensure because they had already, they didn't have over the road. They didn't have highway driving. They had all the other with their safety components. So those are the examples of that short-term training that, so we now have a CDL program. We do robotics. And these can be anywhere from 4 days. CDL generally is a 6 to 7 to 8 week program, but that faculty, that trainer who works with those students, gives them so much time and attention that sometimes it could be 4 or 5 weeks, so he really invests in that to get them where they need to be. So I'm very proud of that program and what it's been able to do. So that short-term training area, Commissioner McCart, you were asking, I believe, like certificate or
Right.
associate degree. And so this licensure is that short example of short-term training. You can get, someone can come in and get licensed in 6 or 7 weeks, or get upskilling in robotics in 4 or 5 days. So a lot of different things that we're trying to respond to there. Where this really plays in here, I feel like the college has significant opportunity with our partnerships. We have been, in my opinion, which is fine, and it has served us well, very Emporia focused, but we haven't looked out to our other surrounding service area counties. So we serve a 7-county area. We serve Coffee, Lyon, Waubonsee, Osage, Greenwood, Chase, and Morris. So those are the 7 counties we serve, and this is part of why I want to just kind of do some additional outreach and really give you all some updates on the college information. So that's where part of this initiative for our Stronger Partnerships includes being able to have that outreach to our counties and serve our counties in a better manner. All right, the next one I want to share with you is this economic impact. This is hot off the press of sorts. We got this in March, so this has been a year and a half. We have, it should be on the left side on the back, we have worked with the other Kansas technical colleges. So we have a document that is a statewide impact, but this is exclusively for Flint Hills Technical College in our service area. So just to give you a little bit of idea, it shows you there in the top right our service area, student numbers, 3,000 credit-based students, non-credit, that number continues to grow. Economic impact, the total annual impact in that circle in the center on the right, $11.4 million impact in our region with 193 jobs supported. And going down to the bottom, you can certainly look at this, but it talks about certainly the wages that associate degrees, certificates, what those earnings are on average, but that a person who completes an associate degree will increase in earnings $7,600 each year compared to someone with a high school diploma. So we certainly have that. And then the one other thing that I've been very proud of, I really pointed out to our own board, this in the bottom, the very center, for every dollar that is invested in Flint Hills Technical College, the return on investment is $2.30. So we're very proud of what that data suggests for the value of what we offer. Let's hop over to the right side of this document now. What I want to get my in there. So this is the kind of document that I create for the legislators. So we try to meet with the legislators. It should be on the right side, kind of have this kind of look at it. We meet with the legislators usually in December before they start their January session. And so one thing that we really try to do is help them kind of understand what our priorities are, what kind of support we're asking of them. Certainly when Smith, Eric Smith. Thank you. Sorry. So when Eric Smith lived in the legislature, we worked with him a lot and different things like that. And so, and now we work with yes, yep. So I'm trying to get all these names. Yes, and so now we've been working with him. But one thing that we try to do is identify our priorities. So the top of this, the front of this that we'll start with is the side that says Legislative Priorities 2025. So this is what we worked with the legislators first. One thing I want to hop down to is this section right here, that block where it states Student Success, Kansas, Workforce Impact. 93% of our graduates stay in Kansas. 6% are employed outside of Kansas. 87% are employed in our 7-county service area. So 87% of our graduates stay in our service area, and that's really critical to us. We think that's very important, and that's really kind of what the messaging we want to continue to share is that we are a strong supporter for workforce development in our service area, and that we have a lot of opportunities to help train that workforce. The middle of the page, this is the type of funding that the state has provided for us, so business and industry partnerships. So what we try to do is show what are the outcomes. You gave us this money, here's what we've done with it. You trusted us with this, here's what we did. So you can see with each of those, we did CDL, so now we've got We have 2 power units, we have 2 trailers, 2 people who are 2 trainers, and then we also have, that will be delivered in August, a simulation unit that will be delivered, and so that will be more mobile. We're looking forward to that opportunity as well. Customized training, student retention, been able to retain more students. We have cybersecurity funding, have been able to increase our security and do a lot of work toward the infrastructure for security, and then some different, this is where a couple of new programs have been able to come in. You see the operating budget there at the bottom. And then on the back side, if you will, this really just talks about our board. We have a 7-member board that is locally appointed. It is not an elected board, it is an appointed board. What we try to do with our appointed board, and they serve 4-year terms, but we have Michelin represented, we have healthcare represented, we have Hills on the board, Hills Science Diet, Pets, we have banking, local banking, trainers, and manufacturing managers. So what we try to do is get a representation of our programs. And again, it's all local, and so it's not something that someone that's not from our area. So it's very important that they ask us really good questions related to our relationships, related to what we're doing, and various things like that. So I do appreciate that the board has that kind of input and recognition locally of what we're doing. And then you can just go through the rest of the information related to partnerships, scholarships, programs. The college this year in September would be 60 years we started programming. So 1963 is when we were formed. September of 1965 is when we started our first program. So the first students walked through the doors in September of 65. And so that shows a little bit of that. The other materials are just some information related to, we are expanding, we're adding a facility, primarily because we can't increase our program numbers. And so industrial engineering programming operates in the morning, afternoon, and evening. They have faculty that run that full time. We still have a wait list there. We don't have space for it. Power plant technology, they're in the Lowther South Humanitarian Center in Emporia on 6th Street on the 3rd floor in a early 40s old high school, and that's their lab for power plant technology, right? So we need to get them a better space where they can work on the mechanical aspect and the various things they need to do for that. Same thing for the industrial engineering. They don't have the space. We're opening a new robotics lab, automation lab, so we're really increasing some of that technology with the expansion. So if you're familiar with our campus, on the west edge of our campus there's kind of green space and an open parking lot, and that's where the new facility, 27,000 square foot new facility will be going there. And then we will backfill and increase, for instance, when industrial engineering moves into the new space, that will open up the industrial engineering space to expand our automotive. So this is not about, we're adding programs. Yes, I explained the early childhood and the precision ag, but I feel like those are relevant programs. We're not just willy-nilly adding programs. The precision ag was 7 years in the making by the time we met with people and did industry reviews and various things like that. So I feel it, but what we have found is that we need more automotive professionals. And so what we try to do really is expand the existing programs that are so successful in our region. We have a program, we have an automotive program at Garnett, and we have an automotive program at La Harpe, just south of Iola. So and every time we've opened those, they've expanded, and we have to add another faculty. And so when we do this expansion or do this facility, the space that will be vacated is already pegged to expand the other existing programs. Let's see. This gives you an idea about the programs and what they are. So if you have questions about what is this, what does that mean, what does this program do, this program guide gives you some insight into that. And finally, the very last page, I believe, on that right side, gives you the insight into the curriculum for the precision ag. So if you did have questions or just wonder what does that precision agriculture look like, you'll see that it is computer applications, precision farming, it does have crop sciences, agriculture spatial analysis, precision hardware systems, and then you go into year 2, commercial drone ground school, precision data analytics, it does have pest identification, etc., remote sensing applications. So it is a high technology program, and it was so new in its structure of a curriculum that the Kansas Board of Regents didn't have any coding for it, so they had to create new codes for it because of how it integrates IT, agriculture, and then what I would consider mathematics, general education, some of that. So, try to get through that. I know I don't want to take a whole lot of your time. I want to give you an opportunity to ask some questions or make any observations if you have any. But this is really just, like I said, I just wanted to kind of give you a couple of things that college is. And we are moving the downtown campus to the main campus. We are looking for a facility for the Precision Ag program. We found one, we think, down by the welding program. We were going to put it down by the welding program, just have them be parallel structures next to each other, but FEMA, floodplain, so we, that was just going to take a little bit too much time and too much paperwork, and we just really didn't want to. When we need the program to get up and moving, we didn't want to wait 2 years or 3 years or however long that might take before we could put a piece of dirt there or move dirt or anything. So we're now looking. We've got a couple of ideas of facilities that are near that we will do for Precision Ag. There is an existing kind of mechanical operations, larger garage building that would work very well for conversations with them. And then this expansion of the main campus to add a facility and then be able to increase and grow some of the other programs and give them a little bit more breathing room as well. So kind of capital investments and capital projects that are going to be happening over the next few years just to really respond to what we think is the workforce need and what employers are going to share with us. So.
Okay. With your enrollment that looks wonderful, it keeps climbing and everything, are you going to continue with the concurrent with the high schools?
100%.
Yes.
100%. That is more than half of our enrollment as it is. So
then you're looking at doing outreach in the other communities of the 7
certainly
counties?
want to see how we can do that and what that looks like and how we can serve that. We have a mobile welding unit, and then once we get this mobile CDL unit, we think there are some opportunities there that we can maybe work with our communities and get some training scheduled and various things like that. So as you all are well aware, you got to get that infrastructure in place. Didn't have we're in the May will be the second year for this business and industry division. And so I feel like we're getting that framed up into a point where we're going to be able to do a lot more training opportunities in our surrounding counties. But we would welcome any recommendations, any suggestions. I think the last time, it's been probably a couple of years now, but I think certainly I went down to Leroy and had coffee and kind of met with a few folks in the county. And certainly the things that came out of that were plumbing, HVAC, electrical, some of those kinds of trades to really start looking at. And that's something that we're also doing, planning to put through our short-term training, where maybe it's a 6 or 7 week boot camp. I'm going to use that loosely because that's not really what it would be, but just kind of a training such as that. You might get an overview of maybe an HVAC, maybe some plumbing, use of tools, measurements, how to, do measurements, things like that. So.
Well, your beginning salaries are, in my mind, pretty impressive. You
For
gotta
the
bear in
students?
mind, this is somebody that's coming straight out
They
of the
walk
program.
off, yep, they
and,
graduate next Saturday and they walk into their
They're gonna
industry
be
and that's what they're
moving
doing.
out, so looks good to me.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you seeing more students go towards these skills versus a college education?
We are
You
certainly.
don't see the depth of it is substantially less when you come out here. So,
Yeah, so let's go to, using that point, let's go to the, dental hygiene. That's the most expensive program we have. It's an incredibly expensive program. We have a dentist on staff, we have dental hygienists on staff as a faculty, all the gases, the equipment, the x-ray technology. So, it is an incredibly expensive program. It probably, in the 2-year program, costs about $38,000 to $40,000. We still emphasize to the students, and it has a wait list. We can't take all the students. There's not that many. I think there's Hutchinson Community College may have a dental hygiene. There are not that many programs because of that very reason. They're very expensive to maintain and operate. And so, but that is the other part to it. Those students walk out. 1 year it was $73,000. This year it was $69,000. So it's generally in that 70 range that they walk out. And so that one is the one we use as the most extreme example. Generally, a student is going to go through a 2-year program. Those students who do their 1 year in the high school, or do the 2 years in high school, their junior and senior years of high school, and get a certificate and have only 1 year, those students are only going to pay maybe $3,000 to $4,000 for their entire education. Yeah, so if they can get that Excel and CTE and get that certificate upon graduation, and then just do 1 more year of that associate's degree, their return on investment is significant. It is so great, and they do not. A couple of years ago, and I think we're kind of seeing some of the, like anyone who had $10,000 or more of student debt, student loan debt, we're going to get waived or whatever. And people were asking us, media was asking us, how are your students going to handle it? We're like, hardly any of our students have more than $10,000 of debt. It doesn't affect our students, so that's not something that they're going to have. But I do want to give that outlier. That's the only outlier. Welding's not even to that level. Welding, industrial engineering, some of those, but they're still not at that level. So the majority of our students don't have more than $10,000 if they have to pay all that out of their pocket.
But in comparison to a college, I mean, that's really nothing, I mean, as far as.
And as a college, so yes, and you're right, like if you compare to a 4-year, right?
That's what I mean.
Yes.
See these kids leaving college and they've got a debt that cripples them for years.
Right. I think I was in my 40s when I finally paid off all my stuff.
That's
And I was very lucky to be able to have my employer, another college, pay for my doctoral program, but I was then which is fine, I had to be there for a certain number of years or I had to pay it back.
Right,
But
but just start looking at the value of that education,
right,
of how long it took them to actually start reaping some extra benefits.
right, their investment, right?
Crazy.
Yes, yeah. So that's one thing we really, especially for the community members. Sometimes I'm not sure the students kind of fully understand. I will say though that our students are so spot on. They're very laser focused, 98% placement, right? So they are laser focused, and they do understand the fiscal impact and what they can take advantage of. So I do appreciate that. They all seem to be very frugal and very, they're just going to pull their shirt sleeves up and try to do as much of it as they can. And so they are hardworking. I really do appreciate them. And our employees are that way as well.
Good.
Well,
Very
I will,
informative.
anything you all have questions about, I will leave my cards in there. Some of you may have my information as it is. I would not hesitate at any moment to step back down here if you have any questions or if there's anything that I can connect you to our business and industry person. And then, like I said, I think I am meeting with Jenny. Stepped in. I thought that might be you. So I know that we are meeting. We'll be able to talk a little bit about the economic development components and what are some ways we can try to support that and partner on some of those opportunities as well.
Okay.
Thank you all. I appreciate your time.
Very informative, thank you.
Thank you.
Got a few minutes, what you want to do, sign some stuff. some stuff around all of
Thank you all again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think at one point, Angie, I talked to you this morning, I was on the agenda,
Yes.
but I didn't have an update because we talked last week. So, you still see it on.
Yeah.
You don't wanna talk.
I don't have anything new since last week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like everything I've done is going well.
When I started, with teaching and administration, and pushing kids towards the college and then tuition roll and the wages of the kids going through the, tech colleges. It's a very challenging, and definitely get out of the warehouse. Liberal arts. Adjustment.
It was on a retiree. We have paid additional. The last paycheck.
To finish that out for that person.
That's a precision ag association for the school. If I was doing, I would do that, doing
Yeah.
GPS, that's pretty neat stuff.
That's all actually considered
That's,
good to grow.
yeah, that's, Oh, that's. How you doing? Good. Good.
Well, does everybody want to take a break before we go to the canvas? If we did, I thought we could take a break now and come back at 9:59.
It's saving, are you here for later, or?
I was just here to do a quick update. I wasn't on your agenda, but can come whenever.
Okay,
Whatever you want to do.
that's,
I wasn't on it, right?
yeah.
We have to start the canvas.
Yeah, why don't we take a break and come back at 9:59?
Canvas shouldn't take too long.
Yeah. Yeah. Squeeze you in there and maybe, hopefully.
They did it all.
Mark,
It was entertaining.
here's Brisbane.
Longest minute. I'll hold it.
Yeah.
10 minutes with 200 seconds in it.
Didn't get the memo, did you? You know what?
They did, they just didn't want us.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I'll make a motion to recess as a Board of County Commissioners and convene as a Board of Canvassers to canvass the results of the May 6, 2025 special bond election for USD 244.
I'll second that.
Been moved by Thompson, seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, so, first I need to give you the provisional stuff here. So overall, it was a 36.31% voter turnout for this bond election, special election, which was pretty good turnout, considering there's 3,035 registered voters and 1,100 voters cast ballots. So we have 16 provisional ballots today, and we can go through reasons that we would accept or would not accept, which those are laid out in state statute. We have 8. That looks like a 6 for a second. 8 that moved within the county, and so since those are in the district in the county too, right, Brad?
Yes,
They
but
had to move.
that they can be, they all are within the district, but they can be within the county.
Right.
The county is the unit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we have 3 that changed their name due to marriage or other reasons. And then we have 2 mail ballots where the signature was missing.
In both cases, those people came in and signed their ballot envelopes and cured that.
Okay.
And then we
So
have,
they got mailed that in without the signature, but they have up until the time your canvas starts to fix that by signing it.
So they're
So-
in.
We chase them down.
So you can tell.
Yeah, it's on the, well, the ballot's not signed, it's the envelope that they return it in, as a place for them to sign it, and we compare that signature to their
Okay.
voter record to make sure it stands.
Okay.
That's a common thing
Okay.
that come up.
and then we have 3 where the voter was not registered at all, so those for sure would not count. And
Okay.
so you have spreadsheets on the back that show you which precinct voters moved or their name changed, the precincts in red where they were not even registered. And so our recommendation based on state statutes is to accept 13 and reject 3.
Okay. Motion upon the recommendation of the county election officer to accept 13 provisional ballots and reject 3 provisional ballots consistent with state statutes.
So moved. Second.
Been moved by Barker and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
You need anything else from me at this point, Angie?
I have no.
Yeah.
Yep, we can count. Okay, so if you want, we'll go ahead and go through the poll books here. So in the clerk's office, early voting, we had 397 voters vote on the express vote, and you can see that that number matches the printed out poll book.
Okay.
Just kind of, for some of you that are new, we use iPad. They're called Express, or Knowing Poll Pads, and they're iPads actually, and they have a program on them where I can export out of our Elvis voter system and import it into the iPad. And then everybody's information is on there, and if you come in and vote, you size it with a soft tip pen, and then I export it out of those poll pads back into our voter system. So it's all electronically transferred. There's nothing I do manually. There's nothing that's done any other way. It's just an import-export. And so we always make sure that those poll pads match our machines, express vote machines, which those are, elections are built on a different computer than even our election voter information systems. It's a standalone, not connected to the internet. And then they're burned onto thumb drive. If you're familiar with what a thumb drive is. And then that information is loaded onto those machines from that thumb drive. And so as people vote throughout the day, it's recorded in the machine on the thumb drive. A picture is taken. There's several different spots. So if Department of Justice or someone wanted to come in and investigate all of that, there's many different spots where everything's recorded. So if there's anything funny business going on, I mean, it would be picked up there.
Okay.
Then that information is exported on the sticks back into that standalone computer where we print off those reports you're looking at, or we'll be looking at here soon.
Okay.
Well, no, you've got them there, yeah, that report right there, this is the one that comes out of the machine.
Right.
That's a summary, I'll have a final total precinct and summary report for you after we have additional, for the purposes of this, I wanted you to see the numbers and
Okay.
if they're matching up. So if you guys will sign, or initial, sign probably the bottom of that, maybe that you've seen those. And so that report is just, when I go in, I generate voter history, and boop, that report pops up, and that's how many voted there at that location. So.
Okay.
And then mail out received back, we have 2 poll books for that, because election night, we have a board of 3 that runs 2 poll books to compare the names with the precincts received back, and we had 39 of those, so if you turn to the back page, you'll see 39 of those, and you'll find the back page on both of these.
Okay.
And that also matches on your report, 39 and the 397.
So would that be sign up here on the front?
No, the back page. That last page, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's what you said. Just anywhere on here.
Yeah, just below there, yeah.
Is this okay?
Uh-huh. And in advance, in the clerk's office, everyone can vote. And it's about 2.5 weeks that they can vote up until the day before Election Day at noon when we close. So every precinct can vote here in advance. On Election Day, voters have to vote at the precinct. However, I will say we did have to combine a few precincts because it really wasn't financially smart to go out and open up other polling places. So we did bring 244 voters into New Strawn and to Kelly Hall. So, and we set up a separate table for those outlier townships to come into Kelly Hall to vote for the 244 question. And so the number that voted at Kelly Hall was 391, and that also matches on this report here. Kelly Hall.
Okay.
And then lastly, we got New Strawn Community Building, and 275 people voted there. So when you add Kelly Hall and New Strawn together, you get the 666 that voted on Election Day. And all of those added together is 1,102 voters. And then once we add the provisional, there'll be 13 more added. You guys have any questions on anything?
So the 13 provisionals will be added to the total.
Yeah, they'll be, if you look at the summary, they'll fall under that provisional category.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then it will automatically calculate
Calculated.
the total, yeah.
I was just curious.
Yep, and I'll present this back later here after.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So if you want to go on with the rest of your meeting, then I will return later with those added in.
So we move,
Thank you,
we need to
Angie.
move to adjourn now, correct? Okay.
Or recess, recess. As a board of canvassers.
Okay. So do we have, give you a second to retype it. A motion to recess as a board, is it county canvassers or canvassers? Just canvassers. Motion to recess as a board of canvassers.
So moved.
Been moved by, Emmenroth, seconded by McCurry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. So we want to try to get Saban in here. You won't be too long, will you, Saban?
Yeah.
I hate to hold you up. You charge by the hour, man.
You know, it's,
Oprah's not here to negotiate that.
I tell my staff frequently, the time I start worrying is when you stop making fun of me, so, I'll take that as a compliment, so. But thank you for giving me a few minutes. It's just a couple quick updates that you probably are aware of, but I wanted to, mention that the SSM Phase 1 frontage road construction, the contractor is scheduled to start next week on the 20th. So that work will, as you can see from the site, the building is up, they're making progress. A couple other things, we have been also working a little bit on a concept of the parking lot that would need to be there that also could be used for future development to the north. So not just for SSM, but a possibility of a little bit larger parking lot. We'll weigh that with the budget to see where things are at and probably come back and report you. But we thought, let's take a look at that while all this work is going on. With the frontage road and your decision to extend it all the way to the north, that gives us an opportunity to kind of better prepare that whole airport site for future development. So take a look at that as well. And then I've had a couple of people ask questions on, is there any update on the CHIPS Act effort from the TEM folks? I haven't talked to anyone there, Carl White in particular, and it's been about a month. and it's probably more appropriate that he would provide an update, but I will say it certainly is not dead. It is, there is still some activity that they're pursuing that still has the support, I believe, congressional support of Kansas folks. I did receive notice from the federal government that there's been an executive order that President Trump passed at the end of March that created what was called the Office of the Investment Accelerator. And I think the mission of that group is to, as you know, there's always a lot of federal programs, and there's been some debate on how fast the dollars can get programmed and put into action. And so there's an executive order that's been passed, and the CHIPS office in the Department of Commerce will fall under that new investment accelerator office. Don't know what the impacts are of that, but I think that at least that's news that the CHIPS Act itself still has some life and momentum, that we'll see where it plays out. And then lastly, I wanted to give you an update on the water study. I know that it's been a little bit longer of a process than we had hoped, but part of that has been just working with the other water districts to get all the information needed. I want to give you a quick rundown. The completed tasks were the initial kickoff meetings, initial data gathering from the water districts. There's been a field assessment coordination we did with those folks. There's a review of historical demand data, and that review is kind of ongoing as we received demand data, and then we're trying to verify that data with how it looks between the different districts, and then what the future need might be. And then we've continued to have engagement with those water districts. The next steps are to complete this demand data reconciliation, kind of make sure all the data is copacetic, makes sense, not only existing, but as we look at the future. Then there will be a hydraulic model update that's put together. And then there will be some analysis of the system storage and the pumping capacity of all the systems in the county. And then our goal is to have a draft technical memorandum for you all within the next 30 days. At that point, I would guess that Carl Lee will be the one to review for the county. We'll work with Carl on that, and then any other parties, and then the water districts will get a chance to look at that. And then after that review, we would come back with a final draft report for you all. So that's kind of the quick update, but it is progressing just a little bit slower, just gathering all the information from all the different districts.
Okay, very good.
That was, I think I saved you time.
Okay.
But we will have our inspector out on the project when the SSM Frontage Road starts, and we have been coordinating with Garrett throughout the process. So, anyway.
And his refresh, who's got the project? Is it
Kilo Construction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think one of their primary subs on it would be Skillman.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
You. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay, thank you. All right, GAS Garrett Nordstrom, USD 243 Early Childhood Development Center.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Garrett Nordstrom. I'm here with Dr. Ford from USD 243. We discussed a few weeks ago that we were going to submit an application to the Kansas Department of Commerce for an Early Childhood Development Center as part of their new program there. We're going to submit that this week, and so I have a few documents for your consideration that will be submitted with the grant. I'm presuming you have those.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the thing.
There, there, and then hard copies are here as well. Should be, I think, 3 different documents.
So what do we need to do? Do we need to read all this?
Well, let me take you through a couple of things that is our primary goal here is to have the commission consider two resolutions that are on. One is a resolution certifying legal authority to apply for the Kansas Small Cities Community Development Block Grant from the Kansas Department of Commerce and authorizing the commissioner to sign and submit the application. That is this document in front of you. Which one?
This one? Looks the most likely it's out there.
Maybe I can scroll through this to see. This is this one. Not in that packet there. That's the statements, assurances, and certifications. Good level of determination. There we go. Okay. If we all are reviewing this resolution, we'll need a resolution number which we can assign to it, but basically it states.
Yeah. Which one is the first?
This will be the resolution for legal authority to apply.
I don't know, it's 947.
Does anybody want to read this?
Well, we can put it in there. It needs to go through 947.
Attachments in the local matching cash.
It appears.
Operation.
Maybe a resolution.
Do you need this for back to my
No.
Okay.
But they want to be sure.
Okay.
Has Wade read through this?
He has and it was copied and has looked at all the documents. We like to make sure he sees it.
Sure,
and
sure.
of course,
And that's our point of action too, you know, that he's had to look at it.
We copied him, we sent him a message. He has looked at it for his review and any comments he had, and to my knowledge, he has given us no notes on it. So all of this is a pretty standard language with the Department of Commerce, especially these two resolutions. It's important to keep a note that the county is not committed to any action whatsoever under this grant opportunity until there is an award. If and when contingent upon award, the county will be presented with a contract with the State Department of Commerce, and that'll, the commission will be able to review that also. We'll be able to take a look at it to make sure that we agree upon the terms of that.
All we're doing is just showing as a county support.
That's right, pretty much.
Right.
And because the school district is a not-for-profit entity, it is not, doesn't have the authority to apply.
Right.
So the county comes in, applies on behalf, and then contingent upon award, we'll take care of the agreement.
Is that something the city of Lebo could apply for and sign?
So the city of Lebo could have done so, but we determined that USD 243 Lebo Waverly had a county-wide benefit.
Sure.
And that being said, the county is eligible to apply for quite a bit more money. So it helps the school district to obtain.
Coming from the county.
Coming from the county.
Right. Plus, rather than a
Single entity.
A single entity. And the Department of Commerce will really go after that and look at that and say, hey, Lebo Waverly, that's a county-wide benefit, and they could have hung us up in the review there. And so we feel like the State Department of Commerce has reviewed the pre-application and has given us the thumbs up that we've sort of given the county-wide benefit as the primary.
So this building you're rehabbing, where did it come from?
It was the old Stormont Vale Clinic that
medical clinic, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was your medical.
Old medical art.
Okay.
All right.
There should be two resolutions.
That's right. One is an operation and maintenance resolution, and one is a
Okay, and which one do you need first?
Um,
Does it matter?
well, the first one would be the authority to apply. Would probably be the
That one,
yes, I'm
okay.
saying.
40. Okay.
Is this
So that's one will be first.
So CDBG is we're gonna ask for a grant of, oh my goodness, I gotta do the arithmetic. The
820?
the overall cost
That's
is
the overall cost.
That's right. The match will be 136,668. That's what USD 243 is gonna put up in cash, which leaves us just
683,332.
That's right.
Say that again, what's USD, USD?
136,668. And, I'm sorry, Mark, you said 683.
683,332 is a CDBG request.
That's correct. So it works as if we have to put up an overall project cost of, we have to meet 20% of the grant request. So 136,668 is approximately 20% of the grant request.
And what was the total project?
820.
So does that represent the cost of the building plus the renovation?
No, the cost of building was paid for.
We already,
Okay.
we already wrote a grant and got the building.
Okay.
The building is ours.
Okay, fine. No, I was just, so the 820 is total renovation?
Total renovation.
Okay.
For the resolution then. Motion to approve resolution 2025-947. A resolution certifying legal authority to apply for the Kansas Small Cities Community Development Block Grant Program from the Kansas Department of Commerce and authorizing the mayor/commissioner to sign and submit such an application.
I'll move.
Second.
Have been moved by McCurry and seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Second one on here is a resolution assuring the Kansas Department of Commerce that funds will be continued provided for the operation and maintenance. We call it the O&M resolution. The project architect has put a number on that. At $30,000 a year will be needed to continually operate the facility. That would include utilities, costs of care of the outside, general upkeep, maintenance. This is an arbitrary number, in my opinion, that this is a resolution the Department of Commerce requires, and the architect kind of, not necessarily throws in a number, but they look at this as discerningly as possible to see what they believe that number would be. It's important to note that this $30,000, it does not need to be held in escrow by the USD 243, and it's not really auditable either. But this is a goodwill resolution saying that we intend on keeping up the building and the property.
Now it would be 243 funds.
That's right, and we're gonna go to this one next, so I'm gonna take you to this interlocal agreement that discusses that.
Okay. So a motion to approve resolution number 2025-948, a resolution assuring the Kansas Department of Commerce that funds will be continually provided for the operation and maintenance of improvements to the system to be financed with community development block grant funds.
So moved. A second.
Been moved by Evandroff and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Let's move to the interlocal agreement that you have to review. The interlocal agreement is one that we've run past Wade. We've also run it past the Kansas Attorney General's office. We've been working on this one for about 4 years to make sure it meets with all county attorneys and city attorneys. Basically, what it says in the interlocal agreement is that the county is going to assume responsibility as the responsible entity and the grant applicant on behalf of USD 243. But 243 is going to be responsible for the payment, the matching funds, and the continued operation and maintenance of the facility. It calls out the overall costs, it calls out the responsibilities of USD 243, and that's, we're going to go to the next administration piece of that after that. But right now, we just have to approve the interlocal agreement that states that although, again, the county is going to apply on behalf through the Department of Commerce and the CDBG program, the USD 243 is responsible for financials.
So if the grant is okay, so where do those funds come to? Does the county administer those funds then? Or?
Yes.
Okay. I think you said that before, I'm sorry.
They will. It's kind of like the same thing as the SSN project.
Right.
The county, when we do it, we're going to set up an account or through Angie's office.
Or USD 243.
Yeah, when we get a pay application, then we're going to draw down money from the state monthly. We're going to pay that application, and then USD 243 is also going to write a check. So we have two of them going to the contractor monthly. One is the county's piece, the grants piece, and then the piece that they're matching. And we do those together, and then we make that auditable in real time. So every month we know exactly where we are, every penny's accounted for.
So other than us cutting checks that are requested every month by the district for the project, there won't be any other paperwork that we'll be responsible for?
So we're going to be responsible for a mountain of paperwork, but that's what our office does. It's gotten good at. So we work very closely with Angie's office, and we call it project administration. So all of the red tape that comes along with the CDBG program, we've got that.
You're going to take care of that, and it's not going to be on our shoulders.
We haven't had an RFI in 30 years, so we know how to do that one.
Great.
Okay. Motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the interlocal agreement hereinafter called the agreement made and entered into this 12th day of May 2025 by and between Coffee County and USD 243 Lebo Waverly.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Barker and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I have Dr. Ford's signature on that.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much. I think we're moving along pretty good. The next piece for consideration would be this document, which is Contract for Administration Services for Coffee County, Kansas, CDBG, Early Childhood Development Center. This is our administration contract. We signed one. It's similar, with almost the same language for SSN. This puts the responsibility on behalf of the county for the administration to make this project auditable and make sure the project gets completed in accordance with the requirements from the feds. And it is a contract that basically says we're coming to work for the county, but the costs of our administration fees wrapped us in cash match from USD 243. Wade has seen this and has agreed with the one we'd similarly signed for SSM, and it comes down to basically clause A, where it says fees, and all administration fees will be paid directly to the consultant by Lebo Waverly Unified School District 243. So any sort of financial responsibility is off the county onto USD 243.
Okay, so motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the contract made this 12th day of May 2025 between Western Consultants, P.O. Box 187, Lawrence, Kansas 66044, the consultant, and Coffee County, Kansas, the county, contingent upon grant award.
So moved. I'll second it.
Been moved by Avendroth and seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
There's a copy of Dr. Ford's signature on that.
Dr. Ford, how many children can be involved? I mean, they'll just saw that.
It'll allow us to expand from, right now we have a maximum capacity of 20. This will allow us to expand up to 50. We're wanting to go, instead of 2.5 to 5-year-olds, we want to go clear to birth. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
There are 3 more documents I'm going to ask you to sign that do not require official motion or resolution. One is going to be a summary of civil rights laws. We call it the assurance and certification, which goes down every applicable federal law that is required to adhere to. There is a disclosure report that every time we add a contractor or a consultant, they are listed in this honors disclosure report. And then we have a residential anti-displacement relocation assistance plan that will be there for the chairman's signature, but doesn't require official action. We already have one on place. We just need to redo the signature here for this in the county. And we have another determination of level of review, which basically assesses the environmental condition and discusses at what level of environmental assessment we'll have to conduct for the project. But I think that's it. Are there any other questions?
I guess I'll need to know how many places these first 2, or all do I need to sign these?
Just in the one place approved, Mayor, Commissioner, and then Angie will attest. And if you've looked at these forms are locked. And so this is Mayor, Commissioner, County, City. We're unable to go in there and edit those out.
So just on the front of.
That's right.
Because there's other places in there that have.
Oh, yeah.
My name next to it.
Yeah, there were,
There's several.
yeah, in the bigger packet, there were several spots where,
Do I need to sign those in every spot?
Yes. But you don't have to do them necessarily right this second. If you want to do them later.
Okay.
I can put them all in front of you if you'd like.
We can get them.
All right.
Well, that's fine. We're going to have you sign here.
Dr. Ford, what was the price of the building when you guys bought it?
They originally wanted a little over $300,000 for it, but Stormont and Vale really wanted to work with our community, so after we got done negotiating the price, we ended up getting it for about $130,000. It's a nice freestanding structure, so all the walls inside can be moved.
Right. See, like,
Yeah. The biggest part of the issue is because of it being a daycare.
When we get done with it, we're going to stack of paperwork like this.
Sign my name in the date line there, so.
Fire marshal,
Yes, that's a
sprinkler system. That's kind of the costly thing.
You don't mind if I.
That's
you can.
the most costly thing out of everything.
Contract, statement of services,
Oh, the fire
anti-displacement resolution.
Yeah, I didn't realize that if it wasn't attached to the school building itself, for some reason, if it's in the school building, you don't have to have that. But if it's not touching, the
That
fire
one,
marshal
and
requires
this is
that
the
you have.
disclosure report and that, and I think we are good. That's the second page there, bottom of the page.
When do you plan on having it operable?
Well, if we can get going on it, we would like to get it up and running just as soon as construction's complete. I mean, we've got a contractor ready to go, we'd like to, as soon as funds become available, we'd like to get something.
But
It's a
you
great
guys,
impact our.
once you guys get the building,
Any
you
other
can
lines
utilize
in those
Yeah.
first 2?
I think these were the ones that were mixed throughout
Nice
the packet.
Those are out of those first
No, it's
2,
really not.
motion.
We got it.
Okay, there was just other places. when I
Yeah.
looked through that.
If you get them mixed up, I made a career of not making sure they're all there, and I apologize, but it's just.
Well,
here.
Yeah.
We're gonna repurpose
I
the
just
parking lot
wanna make
right
sure you
there
get everything
out
you
front.
got and need.
We'll have to
Okay.
kind of get rid of that, and then,
Application.
parking would actually be there on the street where
I'll get
there's already
Andy's
parking out
signature
there.
and we'll.
You got one way down the street then?
I don't know, I haven't got that far yet, but,
I'll go through the whole packet and make sure that
yeah.
we don't miss anything before he leaves.
Yeah.
and
So, good job.
We'll get them scanned over to
We
you.
do this.
You said that they don't need to do a motion for the statement of assurances and certifications?
No, the resolution to authority to apply gives the chairman
Okay.
the authority to
That's
sign
the-
all
that's-
documents related to the grant.
That's the extra things
Okay.
we're talking
Yep,
about.
then you don't need that one.
So
Just
I don't
delete
get
it out.
this to scroll beyond this.
So you're gonna be submitting the application here very soon.
On Thursday, on the 15th.
When do you
Yeah,
expect a
sometimes you have to scroll
response, or
down,
do
it
you know when
gets
the-
kind of finicky
it'll
if
be
you're on
approved?
a file and it almost
Expected
wants you to
response
open
on
it.
June 1st.
I'm playing around with
Very
another
quick
program to
turnaround.
see if.
It's a rapid turnaround. The state has moved to take their program and kind of designed it a
Thinks
little
it wants to
differently.
pay for it,
And
and I
so when we're
refuse
talking about getting in
to.
construction,
There might
we're
I refuse
sure
to
gonna be
cave
going by
in
next
to
year,
it.
you know, hopefully by the end of the year.
Thank you.
So, giant opportunity. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Road and Bridge Supervisor Adam Moak, disposal for auction and practice purchases. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, how are you guys?
Doing good, how are you?
I'm good, quiet weekend, nice weekend.
It was.
No call outs of any kind. So I'm actually here, for myself and Ryan today, so I'll be taking his things as well. I don't know what you have first on,
You had you first.
okay? So I believe I just got some notice of disposals and then I got some tractor stuff. Okay. Where do you guys want to start at?
Beginning.
Beginning?
You just got your disposal.
Almost ready to start at the end. Okay, so the disposal motions on the auction items. And I gave, you guys have a list of the auction items, correct?
Yes.
Now, whether it makes sense. Okay. So with that auction stuff, we kind of talked about that last week. I got a hold of Brett Skillman with S&S Sales, and we came up with basically a sales agreement or a sales contract, that I had him draw up for us, and it's up to you whether you want to sign that as the chairman on the back there for the seller, or I can do that as well. So
It doesn't matter.
just wanted to let you guys look over that, and we're basically taking that stuff to New Strawn, turning it over to S&S Sales, and once they have that in their possession, they're responsible for it, and they will sell that at a 10% commission, and then we're pretty much hands-free and done with it, once that stuff is delivered to on-site out there.
Okay, you guys wanna have a look at this, or?
Will you be a potential sell date?
Yeah, I'm Memorial Day, the 26th, so that's why
Approaching fast.
I wanted to get here today, because it has to run for 2 weeks for the notice of disposal, so it'll run.
And he's got it online also, that's.
Yeah, and that's the other
Yes,
thing, he's printing flyers the 16th, end of this week, so I need to, as soon as I get out of here today, I will be getting hold of him and getting him the auction list and getting that contract signed and get the ball rolling.
Yeah, because I think he's been listing stuff with Equipment Facts,
Yeah.
and he said we could do auction time if we wanted to, but I don't see a
That's-
big difference, because they get advertised.
Yeah.
Equipment Facts and auction time gets the same ad, so I don't see the.
Yep, all the advertising, all that type of stuff is on him. We just we pay one flat
Right.
fee on the sale, and pretty much he takes care of everything else.
Right.
So I guess that would be my first motion on the disposal of that stuff.
So what should we read then, all this,
I have motion 2025-33.
Dispose.
Yeah, okay. So, we just do these one at a time then, I guess, a motion for each one of these pieces of equipment, is that correct?
Not,
Got a list of them.
yeah, not generally just the listed items.
Okay,
Yeah. We should just be able to use that motion, and then the
And
minutes
then-
will have the spreadsheet
Okay, so just read this first part, and then we won't need to read the description of all the equipment? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so just want to do it to satisfy everybody. So, motion 2025-33, based upon the recommendation of the Road and Bridge Superintendent to find that the following items are no longer required or cannot prudently be used for public purposes in Coffee County, and as such should be disposed of by sale. Notice of board's intention to dispose of said property with S&S Sales LLC, 1071 US Highway 75, Burlington, Kansas, will be published on May 15th and May 22nd in the official newspaper. I guess I could just read what these briefly are. It's a 2008 F-250 with a bad motor, 2006 Chevy 2500 Crew Cab, motor has not, 2006 Chevy Crew Cab 4x4, 1996 Chevy steering problems, 2006 Chevy 4x4 tilt trailer built by the county forces, 1996 West Heifer feed sprayer, and 2007 Bush Hog 3710 RP that needs parts, and a waste oil tank of approximately 1,500 gallon capacity.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Then moved by McCurry and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
So with the second part of that motion, if you're okay with it, I'll just sign that, or
That's fine.
Okay. The next thing I've got is some tractor stuff, which will be to dispose of or trade in 3 of our John Deere tractors that are about beyond their life cycles, and we are basically going to trade 3 tractors and get 2 in returns. So 2025-34 is my next motion.
Typically we don't add the motion.
Okay, all right. The motion to find that 3 tractors, a 2006 John Deere 6420, serial number ending in 2308, a 2001 John Deere 6410, serial number ending in 5836, and a 2004 John Deere 6420, serial number ending in 3656, is no longer required or cannot prudently be used for public purposes of Coffee County, and as such should be disposed of by trade-in to Heritage Tractor Incorporated in Baldwin City, Kansas for $49,500. Notice of the board's intention to dispose of said property will be published on May 15th, 2025 and May 22nd, 2025 in the official county newspaper. Also moved.
Second.
Been moved by Thompson, second by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. And then we'll move right on into the purchase of a couple tractors.
Motion based upon the recommendation of the Road and Bridge Supervisor to waive the purchasing policy for 2 used tractors, 2024 John Deere 6130M, serial number ending in 0058, selling price of $125,000, and 1 2024 John Deere 6130M with attached farm loader, serial number ending in 9485, selling price of $135,000 for good cause to availability. Purchase will be from Heritage Tractor Incorporated in Baldwin City, Kansas, with a purchase price of $210,500. Said purchase reflects a trade-in value of $49,500 for 3 tractors, TR10, TR20, and TR01. Funds to come from the general fund public works equipment line item.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Then moved by McCurry and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that is all I have, if we want to move on into Ryan's stuff.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. I believe the first couple of things is a couple CP2s.
Okay.
2025-35.
Okay. Motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the CP2 for Joshua Bruckner, Highway Department Heavy Equipment Operator, step change from wage classification 35-03, wage $21.68 to wage classification 35-04, wage $22.07, effective 5/7/2025.
And that's a CDL.
Okay.
He got his CDL.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move.
Second.
Been moved by Thompson and seconded by Evandroth. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the CP2 for Ben Meehan, is that correct? Meehan. Summer help labor crew member, wage classification 05-01, wage $15.54, effective 5/14/2025, number of hours worked not to exceed 1,000.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Been moved by McCurry and seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Let's see. The next one will be the asphalt project over on Angus. We received basically 2 bids on that. We had a third company that did not put a bid in, so that will be just the asphalt work as far as the overlay.
Okay. Motion that bid received May 7th, 2025 by APAC Emporia, Kansas in the amount of $2,073,022.95 for hot mix asphalt, HMA project A2501-C, funds to be paid from the general fund Public Works asphalt line item and special highway improvement fund. Also moved.
Second.
Been moved by Thompson and seconded by Evandroth. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, let's see, so next motion will be on the Fauna Road project, asphalt project, going from 12th to up to Jacobs Creek.
Okay.
We had 3 bids on that one, and want to make sure that, so the low bid on that was $724. $782.50, that's what's in there, correct? Okay.
Yeah, that's all we have here.
Wanted to double check that, so we have a
Okay.
clarifier this morning.
Okay. Motion that bid received May 7th, 2025 by Kilo Construction, Ottawa, Kansas in the amount of $724,782.50 for hot mix asphalt, HMA project A2502-C, funds to be paid from the general fund Public Works asphalt line item.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Barker and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion?
Adam, you said that went from 12th Road
That goes
to
from
16th?
That goes from 12, up beyond the monument back west to the Jacobs Creek, to Emmer, where Emmer goes into
To-
Jacobs Creek.
It's
Turns
gonna-
into
It
Emmer?
doesn't,
Yeah.
it doesn't go on west from.
No, it stops right there at Emmer. It's actually like 4.25 mile, I think, or something total.
Okay.
And that actually, one other thing on that, so Kenny got a hold of Kilo, Jed at Kilo this morning, and the approximate start date they had on there was August 25th. Jed told Kenny this morning that they're able to get down here sometime in June. So I'm gonna call Ken Mastingill when I get done here today and try and line up a timeline of when they can get to that next month.
Okay.
Already
Just a
almost
little
June.
education for me, they go in and just mill the old one,
Yeah.
repack the base, or just overlay?
Basically just, you know, with every, I shouldn't say every, but most of our hard surface roads in the county, you know, we have anywhere from 6 to 8 to maybe 11 inches of hard surface. So they come in and they mill, and then generally they come in and spray and then put their hot mix back down.
Okay.
Sometimes we do run into some base issues where we do have to go a little bit deeper and,
Compaction test?
yep. I mean, we're gonna do a lot of that probably over there on Angus when they come in and mill all those bad spots out, and we'll come back in and
So the
put some
road,
gravel in and roll it and pack it in and let it season for most of the summer, and then have them come back in the fall and asphalt all that.
so you guys are aware that after they mill it, you do come in and inspect it, make sure it's suitable for
Yeah, we have
reapplication?
We have a inspector on site
Okay.
when they're doing any asphalt projects.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Adam, that'll take care of, they're on Angus, there's quite a few with the heavy traffic that's caused it to
That's
sink, they'll take care of that.
where they're coming in, especially in that first mile.
Yes.
South of 12.
Yes.
That's where Ryan and I went out and established those locations. I think there was 11 or 13 separate spots all the way down to, just about the Glen Issues down in there.
Yeah, a couple even south of him.
Yeah,
Is that going on to 58?
yeah, all the way to 58.
Then on the Jacobs Creek, what's the reason on not going all the way back to Angus?
We kind of have a different, looking to go a different way on the rest of that, going over to the county line. It's not as well rutted and beat up as bad as Spawna is going north of 12. That's the main reason, you know, we're looking at some alternate methods of, you know, bringing the rest of that road up there, going by Wilson's up to Bar, but it's not as near as bad a shape as Swan is. And of course, money, you know, I mean, it's,
Oh, I understand.
asphalt's not as cheap as it was, used to be 10 years ago.
Right.
What is?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The last thing I got is the 2025-36 on the asphalt project out here around the new jail and the courthouse and the parking area and all that stuff. I think it's actually 7th Street. Whatever this little street is out here, I don't remember.
Okay.
Good morning.
So motion to request to solicit sealed bids for A 2503-C hot mix asphalt project of milling and hot mix overlay on Courthouse Drive and parking area. Funds to be paid from the general fund.
So that was where we needed to talk about what fund.
So, do you wanna do out of community improvement line item? The sheet you have there is not going to show you the general fund, community
Okay.
improvement, it's just gonna give you a total for general fund. Let me grab my report here, and I can tell you what is in that one.
Okay.
That's your reserve fund.
Right, right. That's
Yeah.
what I was looking at.
So, I'm gonna give you the total on that. My computer comes up here.
Yeah,
It's black right now.
so which line are you looking at, what's your
It would
suggestion?
be the general fund, community improvement line item.
Okay.
So right now, what's left in there is 590,000. I guess, how much is that gonna cost? You don't have an estimate?
I don't even have an estimate with me right now. Unfortunately, I do not know.
Can we solicit bids for it and then decide later, once we get the amounts?
Because I think you're just soliciting.
We're just soliciting bids right now, so, I mean, the funds can be set up when the motion comes back to award the bid.
That'd be better.
I don't see why we couldn't do that, can we?
Because it'll either come out of general or community improvement, correct? I mean, what,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have much, you don't have many other places that you can take it.
right.
Okay.
What line item was that in the general, you just said?
Community improvement.
Meeting?
So there's general fund, community improvement, and then
Right.
there's community improvement reserve.
Right.
And then we typically budget for general fund capital outlay line item, but we cut that, so.
Okay, I mean, if you guys are good with it, we can come back with some numbers and
That'd be
figure out.
great, I said, get our numbers and then decide
Just we know what we,
how much we
bring
need.
it, bring it from,
Okay. Sounds good, that's all I've got.
So you
We-
So did I read that?
you read it, but
Yeah, but
you.
we
They're deciding on
You
the
didn't go to
fund.
vote.
Yeah, that's, so, do we wanna just, should I reread the motion without the part that says? Sure. Motion to request to solicit sealed bids for A 2503-C hot mix asphalt project of milling and hot mix overlay on Courthouse Drive and parking area. Also moved.
Second.
Been moved by Thompson, seconded by Evandross. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. That way we don't have confusion over what we said before.
All righty, well, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You guys have anything else for me? All right.
It's good weather coming.
Oh, it's been supposed to be nice for quite a while.
It is.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna stand
It's
here.
raining one of these days.
If you guys wanna keep talking, I'll waste some more Tom's time.
You'll make that work.
Do you wanna finish this real quick, or do you wanna go on?
Yeah, we can go ahead and, we want to reconvene the,
Oh, absolutely.
okay.
I mean, we can finish this real quick and be done with it,
Okay.
or?
Motion to reconvene as a board of canvassers to canvass the results of the May 6, 2025, May 6 special bond election for USD 244 at 11:04.
I'll move. I'll second.
Been moved by Peterson, seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Okay. So we did our tally sheet. There's a couple here, so I'm gonna give you two reports. Here we go. pass it down there. Another one for you? Okay, so there's 2 tally sheets that we'll have you guys sign. I don't know if you kind of want to share there. If you look at the Avon Township on your precinct report, I gave you official reports now with those added. So if you look under ballots cast under provisional, there was 1, and also a 1 no vote down below. And that's what that was tallied as. And then the next one's Burlington City Ward 2. Flip over to that, page 3. You'll see there were 5 total ballots cast. 3 were yes, 2 were no. And then Ward 3, there were 4 ballots cast on provisional. And they were all 4 no's. And that reflects on the tally sheet. And then we have Neosho Township. And there were 2 ballots cast, and they were both no's. And then Ottumwa, 1 was cast, and it was a no. So, if you guys can take the 2 reports I have here, and just sign off on the front page on both of these.
Okay.
And then we'll have you sign the bottom of the tally sheet too.
Which is
We'll start.
this one?
Yeah.
So,
Here, you sign both of those. Sign those on the front page.
okay, I'll write yours.
And then pass those on, and then I'll have you sign these and pass those on. And you can keep your reports if you want them. Those are official with everything included.
These are the late? Yeah, it's stuff you need to sign up.
And just sign it.
When I get ready to do my stuff. What the- put it over here.
That's what the tally sheet was.
And this finishes it up.
Yep. And you can go on the top.
Okay. So do we need to move out of that, don't we?
You want to move to certify the results? And then enter the canvas one.
Okay. Do I have a motion to certify the results of the canvas board?
Second.
Been moved by Peterson and seconded by Evandroff. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to adjourn the canvas board at 11:09 a.m. and the board reconvene as a Board of County Commissioners? Also moved. Barker seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, sir, appreciate your patience.
Thank you.
Don't sir, but I really appreciate it. So.
Yet to be determined.
That's right, yeah. Well, Wade couldn't be here, so, I got, I'm gonna say I got stuck with it, you know, it's just, you know, it's just, I'm here, so.
Bowie, we know it, yes.
So, yeah, so if you have any issues with the way I present this, talk to Bowie, I don't care, okay? So we get through this, hopefully I can answer all your questions, we went through this. This is pay app 17 for the period ending, 4/30/25, and it's $1,419,281.11. As you can see down at the bottom, as Wade always is through here, you'll have individual retainage and everything else, and we'll talk about some of that too before we're done here, but we'll get into the nuts and bolts of it here once we get to the first payout. So the first one here is Concrete Unlimited, their application 10. See their current payment's $85,140. Let me make this smaller here. As you can see with retainage, it's $94,600. As you can see here, $94,600 for just on-site work for the concrete that's been done. 94.6. Payout 14 for IBC Carpentry. $287,590.59 with retainage $319,545.10. You come down through, as you can see, completed this period. The big thing is doors, frames, and hardware. That's DFH, the $62,700. In the finished carpentry, all the carpentry work that's gone on, $78,213.60. See down at the bottom, there's $12,000 worth of lockers that's purchased for different areas throughout the building. As you come down, you can see that thanks to good old Cole, he started to add some of these here at the end. The red is the change order. One talks about the post bid addendum 4. So we went through this to kind of help you see, and I see when we're going through this, verifying everything. Thank goodness for Cole doing all this. So shows the change order 1, the post bid addendum. The added hardware that came through for doors, the Sally Port change that came out, the breathalyzer room, the correction of room 185. There's some casework change in one of the rooms, and then the big kitchen door that we asked to be put in early on so we wouldn't have to go around the corner of a building to bring in food. So all that is in that pay app, and as you can see, the total was $319,545.10. It's on the front there. Pay app number 6 for Alpha Roofing. Again, all these periods are ending 4/30. And you see the current rate is $1,669.50. Total retainage is $1,855. As you can see here, when you go through these, if you look over, about the third from the last side to the right or the line, you can see they're 100%. Most of these are in the high 90s now, and if they're not 100%, they're done. They've done 100% of the work, and they're just asking for the last of their payments. As Cole says, everybody now is billing us for stuff they haven't in the past, trying to get their stuff up to date. And as you can see, as we talked about, I think it was probably 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, that change order for that roof foam that had to be changed. So there was a slope coming off, so water ran off the top of these cutouts. If I'm going too fast, please slow me down. I'm trying to get used to Wade's computer here. So application number 10 from Higgins Group. See, it's $57,872.82 for the retainage $64,303.14. Oops, sorry, hit the wrong switch there. So as you can see here, on the amount this period, the general conditions, the mobilization as they always have. The drywall labor is the big thing. Ceiling tiles, I was there last, I had training Tuesday, which must have been Thursday. The new nurse, they've hired a new nurse, the hospital has to come with their APRN, and she had been over, and so they all came over, Stacy Augustine and the two clerks, so we walked through there. I hadn't been over there for 3 weeks, and you can't imagine how much is done. I mean, you know, the carpeting's been done, the front foyers are all done. They haven't put the glass doors in the front, but as you see last week, they put our 2 big badges up and put the lettering on the front of the building. So if you can't tell it's a law enforcement center, a sheriff's office, a detention, a county attorney's office, then you're not looking around, because I thought they looked very, very nice, that stuff that was put out. As you see, Fiat 4 for Always Faithful Painting, $35,182.80. With retainage $44,205 even. As you can see here, for this period, the gyp walls that were put up, CMU walls that were painted, door frames, all the cells have been done, cell doors, hydraulic, or the handrails, all the way up to the mezzanine levels have all been done. All the steel columns have been done. Shower changes were painted, the sally port, and all that, $44,205. Vitscom Commercial Flooring, that's the folks that my staff. So I was told that there was going to be some people working late, and so I told my staff, the dispatch, hey, you're probably going to see some people over there working. We saw some doors open about 11 o'clock at night, thought that there's no way those doors should be open. My staff went walking in and scared the living bejesus out of a couple of guys that were in there working late. They wanted everybody gone at 5 o'clock so they could actually work, putting flooring down and doing some ceiling, and they got scared to death when our people walked in on them. So they learned very quickly that, that we're going to be checking out open buildings, so especially our new law enforcement center. But Vitscom, the commercial flooring, current rate, $5,908.50. And as you can see, $65.65 with retainage. And that's exactly what they charge, $65.65 for doing tile work. And I believe that tile work was in the bathrooms. Next one, I'm sorry. The next one is Desco Coatings. Again, it's their app number 23KS185AIA02 for $42,668.01, and that's $47,408.90 with retainage. This is all for flooring, is all this is. I believe this is flooring, I think it was it. Yeah, Desco Coatings, that's painting and flooring. They have 15 for Poly Jail, $220,513.50. That's $245,015 even with retainage. And as you can see there, big thing is all the security doors, detention hardware, all the installation of everything. $46,000 and change on security glass, all the detention furniture and stuff, all the beds, all the bunks going in the dormitory stall housing, all that stuff is what this is. You can see an additional page here for all the security mesh and installation above some rooms that you could have, actually got through a ceiling tile, and then they can't get through because there's security mesh above it, steel security mesh. Padded cells are all done. Security access panels are all done and installed. Of course, project management, on-site technical assistance, all of the systems have been put in, booking, all of that area, so there's a lot of computers with Accurate and everybody else going over there. What's another big one here? So that's that for poly jails. They're the ones that I'm doing a lot. McElroy's, sorry. Out there, application 14. $256,267.80. And as you can see, they've been doing a lot of insulating, putting all the control systems in, plumbing. I just told my bathroom got done, my toilet got put in, thank goodness, you know, with that. All the coils, the sheet metal, all of the transformer, the generator has all been started, ran, is working in perfect order. We've had some trainings with our staff and with Barb to make sure that they're all aware of what's going on. So 2 years from now, when the warranty's up, we can actually know how to go over and troubleshoot some things and have somebody that can come work on things. As you can see, Cole's handiwork again down at the bottom, their change order. First 5 and 6 was here, just to let us know what those were. And then again, the next page, you can see that some of the drain deductions were the money was given back to us when we didn't have to use that, or they went to bat, River City went to bat with us for us and said that they didn't believe some of these things that they wanted to be put in didn't, and so that's some of those deductions you'll see. And that's $284,742 even with the retainage. Application 14 for Shelley Electric for $253,247.40. That's $268,912.90 with retainage. As you see, there's a lot of stuff they're trying to get figured out here. Down at the bottom, you're going to see in the red. We're going through this the other day with Cole, and it shows this $526,479. Well, that was with some of the stored stuff, and it shouldn't have been put over there. We caught it. Wade said, Cole said, you're right, and so we put in the right number just to write it in here because Cole couldn't get it back to us by today when we did this on Friday. So that number is the $268,912.90. And as you can see here, the big ticket items, all the furniture packages, $183,000, fire alarms, the telecom subcontractors, their security installers are all there, $43,000 labor, material, temp power. Again, they're all done. You don't see many fixtures over there that don't have an outlet in them. They had still a couple of lights to put in at some point, but some hanging lights. But other than that, application number 8 for Skillman Construction, $26,966.02. Retainage $29,962.25. And as you can see here, there's $500 for erosion control. There's $5,000 for demo. Another $5,000, whatever it is, for storm sewer. $18,000 for earthwork. As you can see out front, they're doing all this work, getting ready for the asphalt and concrete pours up here. So that's the total of that, gentlemen. You guys have any questions? I need to go back over anything? Please say no. Please say no. So,
No.
yeah. Let's think about that later. We'll do. We got 2 change orders here. Change order 30, gentlemen, is the original $17,991 that they wanted us to pay for those changes that they had basically screwed up in the plans. And we told them we weren't going to do it, and River City and Goldberg were the one that's taking the hit on that. So when we brought that to you and told them we didn't want to do that, we just basically let it go by the wayside. They redid one to give us the money back, which was 39, I think, 36, whatever it was. Now we've caused a huge problem with their accounting practices because there's this setting out in the open 30 that hasn't anything done. And so their accounting system won't let them do something unless we take care of 30, okay, even though we're not going to do this. So what they're telling me is, what Cole is telling me is, we need to approve this 30, like we're going to okay it and we're going to pay them. But in the one that we redid, which was 36, 38, 39, whatever it was, they're giving us all that money back. And so it's an accounting thing that they want us to approve this so they can get that put into their system, and it won't let them go to 31 of the rest until, because this is open. You understand that? That's the way it was put to us. So that's why that we're bringing this back up, is 30.
Is Wade okay with that?
Oh, yes, sir, we said, yeah, Wade's, yeah, we all talked about it and went over, why would we do this? Why can't we just go around it? And they say it's already been put in to their accounting software as 30, but then there's a giant gap there, and it won't let them equal out, it won't let them.
This is River City software you're talking about, or is it?
Yeah, their accounting software and change order software, yes, sir.
So do we need a motion or something to correct that then, or?
So I would assume that, the motions are there, Wade and I made those up, so everything's ready to go here.
Okay, but that's for the.
Right, and 30's on
That's-
here. Do you want them you want 30 first, or do you want?
It doesn't matter, we can go through 39, I'll go through both these change orders, only two. As you can see here, if I make this a little bigger. So this is change order 39. So this is for $70,096, and this is for all of the card readers, for every door in this building. Remember, they wanted us, because it's Brad's system, we ordered this, okay? So we ordered this stuff, was paid for by us. We'll approve this, if you approve this, then this bill will be sent to them, and they'll reimburse us out of the contingency for this $70,000, basically. Okay?
Okay, so.
That's how they reimburse us for that.
So we need to make this motion here, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Motion do I have a motion for the board to approve and for the chairman to sign change order number 39 regarding construction related to the Coffee County Law Enforcement Center as approved by River City Construction on May 1, 2025, with costs associated with potential change order number 38 and potential change order number 49, which includes contract document revisions associated with the following. PCO number 038, it's negative $48,710 to add card readers to administrative doors and make various plan changes. Change order number 49, negative $21,386 to add more wireless access points as requested, with $70,096 to be deducted from the project construction contingency, with no change in the project guaranteed maximum price, $25,712,885.
I'll make that motion.
That's gonna,
I'm sorry.
go ahead. Discuss it. McCurry's moved.
I'll second it, so we can discuss.
Peterson seconded. So then they deduct it from the contingency plan?
39 is, and that's, then they'll pay us back for this. That's what they're, yeah. So we had to pay for it.
Angie, is that change order 49? Is that correct? It's supposed to be 39.
With theirs is,
It's 49 by their motion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 49 on there, but it's 39 on our POs.
Yeah, I just heard you say 39, that's why I was.
Yeah.
the numbers don't match up on some of
Yeah,
that.
our numbers, our change order numbers, that's why Cole puts those in red, so we can cross-reference to the list that he gives us.
You're late to the game on that, but it's confusing.
It's confusing, yeah, when they have their numbers and we have ours. Mike?
We're getting
Yeah.
17,991 back, okay, there's 21,386.
I don't know which ones, oh, that's the change order.
49, and then you're saying 39, or 36 here.
The 36 is we're gonna approve this, but this has already went through. that they picked this up, remember? The 17,
That's one that had their county program in it.
the 17,000, yeah. Yeah, the 17, I'm sorry, the 17 grand is the one that we're gonna get back. We're not paying for this. We've already ignored this, remember? And went to, what was it? And went to 49? No, it wasn't 49.
39.
Yeah, from 36 to 39 to approve it, because we weren't gonna approve 30. And so then that's what they wanna fix for their,
And this will get it fixed.
again, all it's doing is accounting.
Right.
We already said, we're not paying for it, yeah, we're not paying for it. GGA said they would pick up that 17,000, was their issue.
That's a different change order than we're on right now, right?
Yeah, we're talking about two different things,
Yeah.
yes.
You're talking about change order 30 and we're on 39 right now.
Okay. So, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. So, all right, motion for the board to approve and for the chairman to sign change order number 30 regarding construction related to Coffee County Law Enforcement Center as approved by River City Construction on March 26, 2025, with costs associated with potential change orders number 36, which includes contract document revisions associated with the following. Change order number 36, $17,991 for added work on perimeter angles on the west wall, with $17,991 to be deducted from the project construction contingency with no change in the guaranteed maximum price, $25,712,885.
That's the one we just discussed, Todd and I have been discussing, so that's the one just for accounting purposes needs to be
Okay, I'll
added.
move.
I'll second it.
Then moved by Thompson, seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion to approve the application and certificate for payment application number 17 for period ending 4/30/25, submitted by River City Construction LLC in the amount of $1,419,281.11 for work completed reference to Coffee County Law Enforcement Center project.
So moved. Second.
Then moved by Adamsdorf and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen, for this, putting up with this death march here that I put you through.
That's okay.
I don't do this as smooth as Wade does, but. So, one other thing I'll talk about, and I'll get out of your hair so you guys can leave. So Cole talked to us Friday when we were doing this, Thursday or Friday, and said, hey, you're gonna start seeing some retainage bills coming at you, basically. You know, all this money, all these guys are getting ready to leave, they've done 100% of their work or whatever, and they're now saying, hey, can we get some retainage back to us? So Wade said, well, I don't know that we're willing to do that. It gives us a little hold on our contractors. So Cole said, well, I understand that. So he said, I think that you have to pay them something. So after checking, and Wade agreed, the contract that you signed with Goldberg said when 50% of the building is completed, that should have dropped, that retainage should have dropped to like, whatever it is, 5% or 10%. It should have been dropped. It's obviously, we're way above 50% of our work's been done. So probably we should have been putting some of that back out there, or paying them back a percentage of it. So I told Cole, I said, hey, we're not gonna do nothing until you send us a bill where we can see dollar amounts. You know, commissioners, we don't wanna see that. He said, nope, understand, included. I'm just telling you, my bosses are telling me we're probably gonna have to present this.
Yeah.
So sometime this week, next week, whenever, we're probably gonna see some stuff coming in, wanting some of this retainage paid out to them, down to that 5% or 10%, whatever it is.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
As long as we have something to hold in until the final walk.
That's right, that's right. So,
I agree, Todd.
yeah, but absolutely, I agree. I'm just telling you what Cole said is probably gonna be coming. I wanna give you a heads up, so. We are doing, Thursday, I believe, we're doing punch list on the second floor. He's asked Wade and I to come over. Cole has, I don't know the time, don't know whether one of you need to be there, wanna be there. I'll ask Cole, but I know that he's told us Thursday, we're gonna do punch list on second floor. I think he said the fire marshal is scheduled to come in and give final inspection on fire. The first week of June, the elevator inspector will be here to inspect elevators so we can start using elevators.
It's an annual inspection, eh?
Pardon me?
That's an annual inspection on this?
It's an annual inspection. They won't even let them use them now until they're approved. Yeah.
So when's the elevator inspector coming?
He said the first week of June, so all I know is it's that first week, yeah. We're supposed to, still talk about move-in the week of the 9th, so I'm hoping it's before that, so we can get stuff up, elevators, but as far as we know, and again, fire marshal, sprinkler systems, everything are operational, running, and they've worked, and there's been no problem up to now. I don't think there's gonna be a problem the day they come for inspect, I don't know what. But it's 30 days out, it's getting close, I should be this week, full staffed in my kitchen. Did interviews last week, get some backgrounds done, and make sure that we have security clearance to get in. Full staffed in the jail and detention side. So I'm ready to go, guys. I'm ready to go. I'm sick and tired of waiting. It's been 5 years of this and 18 months of building. I'm ready to move. I say that I just soon take a whipping and try to move anything, especially my house. But this is going to be moving our house. I mean, it's,
Right.
What are you going to do? You're going to do an open house?
Absolutely. I hope that everything is moved. I don't think we're going to be totally moved. I think that there's going to be some issues with the old jail bay, with getting stuff. I think we're going to have bits and pieces that take us longer than a week. But Wade's office shouldn't have any problem. Our main office shouldn't have any problems with the week of the 3rd, the week of the 9th. So I'm hoping that the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday after that week, that week, is when we can have stuff put away, where it won't look jumbled and stuff sitting in hallways, and then we'd like to have an open house 3 nights, like, in the evening.
Yeah.
People can come in, and I've told my kitchen staff I expect to have some cakes or cookies or something from our kitchen, that we can say, hey, this came from our kitchen, we're operational here, we're working, so, we'll let some people go to some cells. Steve, and test those out, see if they can get out once they get in.
Yeah, let them out.
Steve, yeah, we're not gonna say Steve, this button won't work.
Have a little electric malfunction.
Yeah. Steve, we got a food court about that, they just keyed that we can open up, buddy, but the rest of them, we just can't get you out, yeah. But no, we'll be able to do a full, we'll have everybody there, and I've talked to Wade and his office, he can take people through his office, and I'll have people stationed in each section to be able to walk them around. So we're looking forward to doing that. We're looking forward to moving over and getting things done. So anyway, that's all I got to say. You have any questions for me?
What's your second phase of your jail remodel? What's the bid dates on those? When are those due?
Couldn't tell you. Yeah, phase 2, which is the courthouse side you're talking about?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you. I know that they've had some pre-bid meetings with contractors, but that's all I know. Wade and the judge have been kind of dealing with that issue of it.
Okay.
We've had a couple meetings with them, not saying that I've not been involved, because unfortunately the south side of the courthouse renovation is the north line of my secure perimeter corridor that goes into the courtrooms. So we've had discussions on, okay, you can't, I don't want somebody from the courtrooms, jury, whatever it may be, walking out into secure corridors. So we had to have security doors. So they're not going to be able to just walk out. You've got to push a button, and that goes to Central Command, and Central's got to be able to see you and know why before a door is open. So we've had discussions on stuff like that, stuff that we have to maintain, and he's been 100% understanding of why I want things because of security. But as far as that, when that's gone on, buddy, I don't know. Anything else?
I know it's been a long wait, but the good thing is you're kind of on schedule.
Oh, sir, we're ahead of schedule, and I think
Yeah.
that we're not $1 million under budget, but we're still under budget. We're still within our budget,
Yeah.
So,
Good.
again, yeah. Nobody's told me a single word about being a dime over, so.
Okay. All right.
Don't ask me to do this again. I'm just telling you, don't ask me to do this. This was Wade's baby. I'm there to, just don't ask me. Okay, just.
Pick that up and wait, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You did fine.
Remind me,
You did good.
remind me to kick in next time. Okay, see if I can get out of this without screwing stuff up. It's right here somewhere.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Have a great day. See y'all later.
You
Take
too.
care.
Okay. More things to sign. Oh, okay. In a minute.
That one for window, I thought it was his food truck.
Oh, she did.
It was mowing out for.
Yeah, it was mowing, yeah.
He was talking about that,
I'm still young.
Mark and I have decided to swap roles in our liaison positions on the planning board. I'm gonna maybe have him like either mine or the county commission.
For planning board.
And he's gonna take over liaison for the museum.
Take over what?
The liaison for the museum,
Oh, okay.
just gonna swap roles. So, if that's agreeable with anyone, unless somebody else wants to do some swapping.
Yeah, I don't know, do we need to do anything to do that, or?
As long as Andrew's
Yeah, I just need to put it in your appointed, or
And your books, or your,
on the spreadsheet, who's
who's
doing
got
what.
what?
we didn't know if we needed a motion to do it, or
Yep.
I just need to go and change.
So, Mike, you're doing liaison for zoning and planning, and, Mark's gonna do liaison for.
Correct.
Yep.
I don't have an objection to that, you guys think that'll suit stuff better, you think, is what your thought is, or?
yeah.
Same thing, I don't know how to spell liaison.
Angie, can you make me an updated one of these?
Yep, I can send it off right now.
Yeah, just make one for all of us.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the one here. We changed the ownership. Snubbed you. You did. I didn't get it.
It's official now, right?
Fanny did it, you just.
It is. That's what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm going with.
Well, are you guys caught up signing down there?
Yep.
Okay, so I guess we're ready for roundtable. Got anything, Todd?
No, I went to Fiber Board last Tuesday and just getting ready for another year. So they were looking for a at-large member to be on it, and I don't know what they'll do with it, but I suggested somebody that had a lot of experience with that from the 243 side and is retired, Doug Piper. Oh, that'd be good. So I don't know if they'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good.
It'd be way more beneficial to have someone
Have
that's got
somebody that knows what they're talking about.
technology, because you wouldn't want me on.
I don't know if you, I don't know
Me
if you would wanna do it or not, but I threw that name out to them.
That would be a good,
Number two.
Doug Cypher. I think is who said, Doug.
Yes.
Yeah, he was IT for
Forever.
forever, yeah.
Well, that'd be great. Yeah.
And then with the correspondence that we had from the lady at, Jacobs Creek, Terry Wood, I went down and left a copy of that for Carl, and he's reached out with her with an email, so they're gonna work on the nuisance equipment and if there's anything wrong with the, sewage, they're gonna deal with that.
Okay, okay. Well, hopefully they can get some relief on at least part of it or something, maybe.
He said he was on top of it and has dealt with those things before, so.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I do not have anything to say.
Wow. Quick. Mike?
Had, two separate individuals that represent a couple companies approach me about wanting to purchase the old medical clinic building north of MT Wireless. So they've tried to for years and it got brought up and nothing ever came of it, so they thought they'd reach out again and see what our thoughts were on it.
What medical clinic is that, Mike?
The old medical clinic north of MT Wireless there, across from the hospital to the west.
Oh, okay.
So, I told him I would bring it up. I know it sat there for a long time as a storage facility, and I would like to see if it's something that's feasible to put it back on the tax rolls and help these two companies expand their business.
Right, right.
So,
Well, yes.
I'd like to hear from the hospital board themselves on that.
Yeah, me too. That was my thought.
I mean,
Right. You know, if they're
Anyway.
utilizing it, that's my only concern, is if they're utilizing it or.
it's storage last time.
Right. But if it's right across from the hospital, if they let go of it, they'll never get it back. But-
Or cramp them up that they've got to move all the materials in it somewhere else. I don't
Right.
know.
I mean, I don't know what those, like you say, what those facts are, but that would be my concerns about letting go of it, you know. And I think you mentioned the one in Leroy. I mean, that'd be something that we could approach them with and see what their thoughts are, but I mean, I guess I'm kind of leaving that up to the board. In my opinion, I'm pretty hopeful that we've got some pretty good business-minded people on there now, and I hope we can, you know, I feel they're gonna be more money-wise minded, and hopefully we're headed towards better things.
Correct.
That's my hope.
Yep.
Okay.
That's something we need to pursue the hospital board about, maybe get their on it, or you want me to point them in their direction?
it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, that might be a good.
That would
maybe.
be good, because that way it would put it to their board, and they could have a discussion, and then if they want, I guess my thinking is, if their board is agreeable, then they could come to us with a recommendation. I mean, wouldn't that be the correct way to do it?
Yeah.
It should run through the
It should.
hospital board.
It should run
Yeah.
through the hospital board.
Right, right.
Okay, well, I'll point them in that direction.
I think that'd be the
See where
best.
to start with it at least.
Yeah, yeah.
So, any word on the roof on Maribel's? Have we heard anything progression?
I haven't heard. I was actually thinking about trying to get the number from Wade and just call them and see what their plans are, and probably maybe Angie's got their number.
I think, what was it, Wade said that they were waiting on a break
I know we
for
got,
the weather. When was that, a week or two ago? Last week or?
Sheriff just mentioned that they were doing some work here, didn't they? Am I thinking right?
Wanted
jail.
paid for something.
Pardon?
Or they wanted paid or something.
Yeah, that's the most important part of their work in their eyes. I mean,
After this week, it's gonna, the chance for rain is gonna increase quite a bit for several weeks.
Yeah, I'd love to see them get something rolling here.
Other than that,
Yeah.
Steve, turn.
I really don't have anything today.
Okay. Well, when I was on my way in this morning, Ryan called me and said he wasn't gonna be able to be here today, but, okay, thank you. He said that, wanted to know what we wanted to do about the funds for the solid waste. We talked about that, and that they're in the hole, is that correct, Angie?
Yes.
Now, those on the list there, did we take the salaries out? They're still in the holes, or did we not do that?
Well, we talked about, I don't know if you remember, earlier this year, Mark, I think it was after you guys came on.
Yeah.
But we talked about two different things. We talked about doing salaries out of general fund. And then we thought maybe we should just do a lump sum, and then at budget time this year, because we didn't budget in general for that, that we would just put a lump sum there for now, and then, at budget time, try to take care of what we're gonna do for next year, is what I thought we talked about. And I think I said you, Mark, because I think you're the one that suggested we do that too.
Well, instead of taking everything out of the general fund all the time, I mean, that ought to have something that's reflective of what's actually happening. And if it's running at a loss, then, I mean, don't wanna hide it or make a Band-Aid on it.
And I think we talked about making a department in general for them for this next budget year, and budget for their salaries and whatever else, because we don't really have that right now. I think the
Yeah, I think
thinking
that's
was we were gonna
right.
have a better look at what we're
And that
spending.
way, it'd be there'd be a department specifically
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
If
I think that's what
remember.
we talked about.
Yeah.
Because.
Because if I just pay it out of general, if I just I mean, I could create a department now, it would go negative, but the general fund would cover it anyway. Or we could just do a lump sum budget, I don't know, how do you guys wanna do it?
So basically, the deficit has never been fixed though, even though,
No,
right?
I mean, we just don't collect enough to cover it.
Have we asked Philip about it? I mean, does he have a suggestion?
I had talked to
for
the
it?
auditors about it, and they thought about trying to do something at budget time this year too. And I think I reported back to you guys on that, but a few months has passed, so.
Yeah.
So I'll just put a lump sum in there, what I think will cover for the rest of the year, and hopefully we won't have to transfer anything else, and then maybe at budget time we can figure out what we wanna do.
Start of increase.
That'd be fun.
That sounds agreeable to everybody,
Okay?
That'd be fun.
because we, no need for it to sit in there being in the negative.
No.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And, we talked, Mike, you mentioned something last week, I believe, about, maybe it was a week before, about the property that we sold up there by the Meadows. That, and at the time, when we sold that, if it's my recollection, we didn't ever take any action, I don't believe. I'm just about, well, we didn't ever give them the money anyhow, but the conversation was, well, they had been maintaining this property for all these years, ever since that whole thing, they've been mowing it and caring for it and everything. And I believe the consensus kind of was then that we would give them that money, but we haven't done that.
I've never done it.
Never took action on it. So, I mean, this was the amount was $79,125 is what the sale of that property generated, and I don't know what everybody thinks on that, if we wanna. pay them for that, or, you know.
The hospital's always maintained that. For, I don't know how long they've had it, for years and years, I guess.
Yeah, it's been there a long time, but.
That would have,
It probably should have went back to them initially.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I think.
And I think at the time we discussed it, I think the discussion was that
Everybody was positive about doing it, and I think we just kind of dropped the ball, but I'd have to go back and watch it, it'd
yeah, I would
be a
too.
good time finding it. But that's my recollection of the discussion, but.
That made a difference in what their request was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
On the ACU.
Right, correct, so.
I guess for what, I'd be in favor of taking care of that, of just. Because it really is the, I mean, even though it's county property, but it was,
It had been part of their department for some
it
time.
had been part of their department for however many years.
How much was it?
$79,125 is what it is.
So half of what we authorized to pay him a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm sure they had, from what what you were telling us about their budget request, I'm sure they've got a place they could use it for.
Are they on any future agenda for budget requests?
They will be coming either the week before, either next Monday or Tuesday. She was gonna confirm which day would be best for her. They have to be here in order to present their budget, because they have to have it.
They have to do it in May, don't they? I was thinking they.
Well, it has to be approved by June 10th, no later than June 10th.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they usually make their budget requests by the end of May.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
yeah.
Do we
And
have
then-
a meeting on the Tuesday, next
Uh-huh.
Tuesday?
Not next Tuesday, the
27th.
27th. For Memorial, we're closed Memorial Day.
Oh, okay. It's sneaking up on us.
Mhm.
So they haven't committed to a date, they
Not
just
yet.
need to be here for this too?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'd make a motion to pay $79,125 to Coffee County Hospital for the sale of the land near the Meadows, funds to come from the general fund capital outlay line item.
I'd second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Do you have further discussion?
I kinda like to wait and see what their budget request is this year. I know they come in, we just paid a $155,000 bill of taxpayer money again to that hospital. These proceeds you're wanting to send back are taxpayer money, and I don't feel comfortable sending it back to you until I hear what their request is for the budget this year.
Okay.
I kind of feel like Mike does, because, you know, after laying down the birthing center and stuff, and we're hearing they're gonna want more money. And then I've also talked with some people that are questioning, with us not having a birthing center, is that gonna mess up grants that they've been receiving? Not being a full-blown certified hospital with a birthing center that could put those grants, or future grants, in the problem of getting them. So, I mean, we need to be a little careful there, so.
Right.
You know, I want to take a closer look at the budget request also.
Okay.
Okay.
So we want to drop that, or what do you want to do?
Sure.
Okay.
I got questions for it, I just,
Very good. Yeah.
That's fine.
when does it end? I mean, that's the
Well, I'm not sure.
stories I hear from the community.
Well, I understand, but I don't know that it's ever gonna end,
It's
that
not.
thing, Mike, because, you know, if
It's
we
just
wanna
part of
have the facility
I
there,
mean, if
their
we wanna
costs.
have a facility, we're gonna have to continue their support.
You know,
As long as we have Wolf Creek, we're gonna have to have a facility.
Well, just for the county, I think we need to have a facility.
I agree,
Yeah.
but I hear so many horror stories from people about the billing department up there, how,
Well,
I just got questions about.
I understand, some reports I've got is that things are moving a lot better direction there, that they have some people in place now, that's improving, is what I've been told, but.
That would
we
be
all-
good
obvi-
news, like,
Obviously, we all hope it's
continues.
true, you know.
Indeed.
It's, essential.
We need it,
part of
there's
our
no doubt
county,
about it,
you
our
know.
community hospital.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've said this before, but I mean, I consider it a service. I realize they do business, they bill people for the services provided, but our rec center doesn't cash flow, fire and rescue, sheriff's department, none of those things cash flow, they're all services our citizens use. And I put it more on that side of it myself, but obviously we want to be careful with the money we're spending, it's a lot of money, you know. So, I agree.
We got a motion and a second, so we need to have a vote.
We do have to vote. Okay,
Okay,
all those in favor say aye. Guess motion dies. Yeah. Well, does anybody have anything else, or?
I don't.
Well, I guess we just as well adjourn then at 12:12.
Looks like we got the comp plan kickoff next Monday at 1 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah.